Would you like to dive with me in a conversation about deep emotional healing? So, welcome to this talk with me. I am Shirayam. I am a retreat guide for over 20 years in 12 different countries. And it's a pleasure to be here as a guest to talk about this world that exists inside of us, which is our emotional world, which is this invisible world that has so much power over us. And it always brings this call that we cannot not answer. We cannot escape from it. We cannot hide from it because our emotions always talk higher than any makeup we put, any dress we wear, any travel we do. Our emotions are always there, and they are always talking, and they are always asking for attention. And it's in the name of this attention that I come here today for us to understand a little bit more about it, and for you to listen to these words and feel that if you resonate with what happens inside of you as well. Today we're going to talk about emotional healing in a very simple and direct way, in a way that we can bring it to our lives and we can celebrate the steps to reach from one side of the suffering and emotional pain to the other side of emotional healing. So the first thing we would like to talk about today, it's when do we feel emotional pain? Have you ever asked you that? When do we feel emotional pain? A lot of times when something unexpected happens, when someone doesn't correspond our feelings, when someone says something, when someone leaves us, when someone betray us. So all this involvement with another person, when someone dies, no? So all these different relationships with another person who can bring us emotional pain. Sometimes we have emotional pain because of the relationship with ourselves. It could be related to our self-esteem. It could be that we are comparing ourselves with other people. It could be that we are comparing ourselves with who we were in the past. It could be that we are comparing ourselves with something idealistic that has nothing to do with what is real. So when we dive into this to identify when does emotional pain appears for each one of us, the second question is, what do you do with what hurts you? What do you do with what hurts you? And I'll tell you some things that we do that are not good for us. Sometimes we are feeling emotional pain and we try to hide it, even from ourselves. We hide through working, we hide through telling ourselves that nothing's going on, we try to meditate it out, we try to run it out, but this emotional pain is there. We do try to avoid it. We try sometimes to deny it. We try sometimes to eat it out. And this is all the wrong ways that we can deal with our emotional pain. And also our mind will start telling us some lies, some scary, scary lies. Our mind will tell us, this pain will never go away. I will never get through this. I am the only person who goes through this in this entire planet. I am not good enough, that's why this happened to me. Or I'll never be the same after, I'll never recover, I'll never be the same after what I'm feeling right now. And I am not worth it. So these are all the lies that the mind starts telling us when we are going through this emotional pain, this process of feeling pain in our lives. So if you are aware, if you are investing in self-awareness, if you are investing in self-knowledge, if you take therapy, if you listen to lives that bring you, information that resonates to your truth, if you have insights when you hear some things and say, wow, I feel that way, this happened to me. Oh yes, I totally agree with this. Oh my God, look what she's saying. I thought I was the only person who thought that way. And now it just happens that is a worldwide behavior. And I was thinking, I was believing in this lies in my mind that I was the only person who feel that way. And then we feel very isolated when we believe in those thoughts. We feel so isolated. We feel like everybody else is happy, is dealing okay with their emotions, they are succeeding, and I'm the only one here carrying this pain around. And this pain we will take into our family meetings, into our work, into our creativity, into our vacation. Sometimes we might go to this amazing island in the Caribbean with this beautiful beach and sunrises and sunsets, and it could just happen that you were walking to that paradise and carrying inside of you all this unresolved pain. So it's a companion that will gonna walk with you, and it's a companion that is not, the message that is bringing is not, I'm here to hurt you, I'm here to destroy you, I'm here to invalidate the good things in your life. No, this pain is a companion that is asking for attention. And this is one of the first steps I'm gonna ask you to, if you can write it down so you can remember later. This is one of the first steps that I'm going to suggest you to explore when we talk about emotional healing. And the first message of asking for attention that this pain is bringing to us it's a request to engage into self-healing, engage into self-awareness, engage into self-care. And what is self-care? Into the emotional healing field. Self-care is paying attention into all the thoughts that you're having that are feeding this emotional pain. If you have the habit to go into the situation that you believe that brought you this pain, and you start to replay that once and over in your head, repeating the pain, repeating the feelings, repeating the tension, repeating the trauma. So this self-care is going to require you to go inside and take a look. Where are you taking your mind? Are you taking your mind towards the solution? Are you taking your mind towards the understanding? Are you taking your mind towards integrating? Or you're just replaying the painful situation in your mind, activating all that emotional pain again, activating all that tension in your nervous system, activating all the contraction on those muscles in our body that engage with that tension and also contract. Or when we engage into self-care related to our mind, we will learn to deal with these thoughts, with these memories. We will learn how to observe as they pass by, with every time less and less feeling of getting engaged, getting swelled up by that thought, getting weakened by that memory. And the second self-care related to the mind and the heart is that you might feel that you need to talk to someone that can give you support. Maybe a very good friend, maybe someone from your family, or maybe even a professional related to the therapeutic field. Because sometimes our friends and our family, they have so much love for us, but they don't have sometimes the knowledge to bring our consciousness to go through this and analyze the situation in a way that you can integrate in a lighter way into your life. And when you go to talk to a professional, a therapist, someone that you trust, someone that you connect, someone that you have a deep feeling of surrendering, you allow yourself to talk about all the things that are happening in your mind without the fear of being judged, without the fear of being criticized, without the fear of being bullied about it, right? For example, someone is, Shlaya Heard is saying, writing down all the good things in life helps with the healing and asking yourself why you have bad thoughts. That's a very good thing as well. Thank you very much. So when you go to talk to someone and you open your heart to that person and you feel what happens in your heart when you have someone in front of you that listens to yourself deeply, deeply, without any judgment, and is just there holding space for you to empty it out, to open your heart and empty it out. And on that moment, you also can listen to yourself talking. And there is a deep healing when you listen to yourself talking. Because while you're talking about your emotions with someone that you feel that is holding space for you, you are constructing inside of you these ideas. You are naming your emotions. You're explaining how do you feel. And at the same time, that is helping you to process that, to understand how it works inside of you. It brings you out of your mind, out of the paranoia, and brings you down to the voice, to the wording, to the expressing, and that brings a lot of relief. And then also a professional can sit with you and show you different points of maybe how you are in, how the situation happened, what was your responsibility on it, what is yours, it's your interpretation, it's your responsibility, and what is not yours, what belongs to the other person, what is talking about the other person's behavior and the other person's point of view and the other person's story, which has nothing to do with you most of the time. So that helps you to organize a little bit your emotions and to organize how you understand the situation and how you would like to act next time this happens into your life. It's very, very important for us when we are integrating a situation that we are emptied out, we are feeling, we are crying, we are talking, we are writing it down, we are doing all this process to understand, to go deep, to feel, to integrate. For them, us to learn. This is the beauty of emotional intelligence. Is it allow us to learn of not to repeat same pattern of behavior that brought us a lot of emotional pain in the first place. We are so innocent into this life. We are born here, we learn how to act with the people who are around us, and then we go to school and we learn about math and history and geography and languages and all these beautiful things. But most of us never had, since we were little boys and little girls, classes about how to understand our emotional intelligence and how do we get more mature in life. Not only our body reaching a certain age every year and getting more mature, getting older, but how our emotional intelligence can also grow older or more mature with us year by year, event by event, heartbreaking by heartbreaking, loss after loss. How do we build that castle inside of us? How do we build that temple inside of us with the blocks and the bricks of the experiences we had in our life? Another point very important for our emotional healing, it's allow ourselves to feel it. It's allow ourselves to feel even those emotions that we classify as negative, wrongly classify as negative, such as anger or sadness or hate. It's allowing ourselves to express that in a positive and balanced way. We need to cry. We need to go into a space that maybe we want to scream. We have a lot of rage coming up. We have a lot of anger coming up, and we want to hit a pillow and kick a mattress. I'm laughing because I've done this several times. It's a big relief to do some catharsis at some point when you're going through some emotional pain, it allows you to let that anger out. And when you allow yourself to feel sadness and you cry it out, it allows also to this emotion to be expressed, and you don't feel like you are compressed and you're holding like a volcano all inside. And then maybe someone passes by and say something this small, and this volcano goes up and hurts whoever is around, besides hurting yourself. So no emotions were created to being suppressed. They were created to be felt, to be expressed in a balanced way, especially towards other people. If it's not balanced, then express with yourself in a safe space and environment, with your therapist, with your psychologist, in your retreat, in spaces who are created for that, for you to allow yourself to feel freely, to open your heart and to open your throat and open your mind and be hugged and supported and listened, and so you can feel yourself with this company, with these other people who are walking with you through this process. So allowing yourself to feel, to go inside, to see what emotions are coming up, and really, really allowing yourself to feel them coming out. And on this passage of coming out, taking with them all the illusions that you're carrying inside before. All these voices that say that, it's wrong to feel that way, that it happens to you because it's a punishment, that you're not worthy of love, that you're not worthy of good relationships, that you have a bad luck, or you're not a lovable person. When you cry it out, all these lies that we tell ourselves, they're so hurtful, so painful, and so heavy. But mind, learned somewhere in some movie, in some soap opera, it learned to act that way, to say those hurtful things to ourselves. So when we cry it out, and when we talk about it, and when we write about it, there is this space for us to look at it at some point, not so engaged, and holding our tools of self-healing in our hands. We can look at that and say, I don't need to believe on this anymore. This doesn't represent me anymore. This doesn't resonate with me anymore, because I grow more mature emotionally, and I understand that things will happen with me in life. It will happen with me, will happen with you, will happen with us. And these situations, they are part of everybody's life. So when they come, I need to take also my PhD in my emotional intelligence, my university, my course, my books, my reading. The same way that I learn to brush my teeth every day, I need to learn how to feed into this building of my emotional intelligence every day as well. The same way that I learn how to drive a car, I need to learn how to drive my heart and my feelings. The same time and energy and focus and resources that I invested to learn a new language, I need to invest the same way to learn the language of expressing emotions, of talking about my emotions, of asking for forgiveness, of forgiving myself. The same time and energy that I invested to learn to be the professional I am, that the way my talent is given into society, maybe as a lawyer, as a dentist, as a doctor, as a mom, as a housewife, as a wife, everything that I invested into that personality or into that profession, I need also to invest in how to manage my emotions, how to manage my pain, how to manage my anxiety, how to manage my stress, how to manage my peace, how to manage my happiness, how to manage my balance, how to have balance in this life. So we all need to dedicate time, resources, and energy into this field of the invisible world that lives inside of us, that cannot be touched, as a car, as a purse, as a person, as a body, but as a money. But even though you cannot touch it, and you cannot smell it, and you cannot taste it, this invisible world rules our life, especially our life quality. So the invitation for you today is to give any steps that you feel in your heart that you need right now to walk forward towards your emotional healing, and to dedicate this vacation for your mind, for your heart, for your soul, this vacation of your inner world, this vacation of dedicating time into healing, understanding, integrating, allowing, accepting, and bringing to your eyes, to your heart, to your mind, a new way to see life. Because one thing that generally happens when you work on yourself, when you dedicate time to heal, is that you come out of all these situations stronger than you were before, because you have more experience of who you are and how you face pain and how you face life obstacles. You know more of yourself. I remember one time I was on a walk, and a car stopped, and a man jumped out of this car, and they tried to kidnap me. And on that moment, on that very second, I had no time to think. It was automatic. I knew that I had to save, to do something to save me from that situation. And so fast, my body turned away from the direction I was going towards to that car, and I ran so fast and I screamed so loud. And so many people start opening the doors of their homes to see what was that woman screaming, and coming out to support, and until someone opened their home's door and I walked in. And after bringing that situation and that day into, understanding, healing, and integrating, after taking care, I learned something so important, is that I now know how do I react in a moment that I need to take care of my life, that I need to protect myself. Now I know, because life brought me that experience. And a lot of situations in our life, when we go through it and we allow ourselves and we invest time, resource, and energy into processing what we went through, we come out in the other side and we wrote another page of our life, of the way that we know ourselves. And we can say, I know now how I react to this situation. I know how I react towards death of people I love, towards a divorce, towards a new marriage, towards a new financial proposal, a new job, a new vacation, a new course, a new retreat. So you start to getting to know yourself better under all these different circumstances. And emotional healing is the same. Doesn't matter what you went through. There is a lot of respect in my heart from all your experiences. And I can assure you that if you dedicate yourself into self-care, into emotional healing, you will come out in the other side wiser about yourself, stronger about yourself, and you have this inner feeling inside. Then you can walk through life feeling safer, wiser, and ready to support other people who might end up going through what you went through. So I leave here this invitation for you to keep following us here, to be attentive to the news that we're going to bring to you, to get informed about the retreats that we're going to be talking about these following months. There's a space for us to get together, get to know each other, get to heal our wounds, get to educate better our mind, get to mature a little more our emotional intelligence, get to be in deep contact with nature, get to see amazing sunsets and sunrises, allowing our heart to empty out everything that is not necessary to carry anymore, and to refill and rebuild with a lot of presence, silence, happiness, love, and a new way of living your life as balanced as we can. Thank you for being here. See you next time.